Start recording. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Maria Kritikos. I'm the founder of the Ladies Who Lunch Network, and I'm very excited to be hosting my first BLAB today. This is awesome. This platform, I don't know very much about it, but I am super excited to get started. It's very interactive. You can record from anywhere, and you can also have other people in the BLAB with you. So welcome, everyone. Whoever is here, go ahead and send me a message. I think you just go to the right and you can type in a message. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask. But today our topic is really how to turn any idea you have into reality. And I talk a lot about that in the LWL network, the Ladies Who Lunch Network, which is really a global community of women, I say, in business, fashion, and philanthropy, living their dream and making a difference in the world. Hello, good morning, Miss CV Queen 62. How are you? LWL stands for Ladies Who Lunch, but it's also an acronym for living a life without limits. And that's really the motto of the network. So, what I want to talk about today is my 7 tips to really making any idea that you have and turning it into a reality. So the first one is really important, and everything starts with mindset. And if you want to go ahead and take notes, please do, because I have a lot of information. So the first one is, my first tip is find out who you want to be and start acting like it. People will treat you the way you treat yourself. They will respond to you in the way that you put yourself out there to the universe. So, for example, if you say, I am powerful, I am successful, I am the founder of this global network, people respond, yes, you are. Even if you don't believe it's true at the time, people will respond to you the way that you put yourself out there. And people will treat you and relate to you as who you say you are. I also want to mention that the 2 most important words in the English language are I am, and anything that comes after that is truth. So if you say, I am powerful, I am productive, I am resourceful, the universe responds yes. Number 2, build a business around your passion. This is so important. We hear it all the time. Maybe you're even sick of hearing it, but there's a reason people are saying this. And the reason is that you are never going to be successful doing something that's not in your heart, So building a business around your passion for what you do will continue to move you forward in the times that you want to give up. And guess what? You will want to give up. I've wanted to give up many times, but the key and what successful people do is they recognize that it's a glitch. They recognize the feeling that they're having, and then they move past it. It's that simple. So build a business around your passion is my second tip. And the key to this is if you find something that doesn't feel like work, that's what you should go with. If you find something that doesn't feel like work, because I always say essentially anything can be monetized, right? But as entrepreneurs, we all have a little bit of crazy in us. And the only thing that really stops us from giving up is the fact that we are so passionate about something. Richard Branson said it when I asked him, what is the secret to success? In one word, he said, it's passion. Passion is the secret to success. There are other things as well, of course, patience, resilience, determination, action. But all of these, in my opinion, are fueled by passion. So if you want to turn any business idea into a reality, you must first be sure that you are passionate about it. And I want to recommend a really good book to you. It's called Now Discover Your Strengths by Marcus Buckingham. And this will really help you hone in on what it is that you are good at, what it is that makes you you. And he says that whatever that is, you have to focus on that and focus on your strengths and build a career around that instead of focusing on your weaknesses and trying to make up for them. So one of my favorite books is called Now Discover Your Strengths. Now Discover Your Strengths. And it's probably coming out. It's probably coming out like the other way around or not. I'm not sure. But it's Marcus Buckingham. Now Discover Your Strengths. Awesome book. If you're just really at any age, at any stage or at any age, at any stage in your career, but especially when you're starting out and not really sure about what your passion is, you know, because some people say to me, well, Maria, you know, the network talks about discovering your passion. What if I don't know what my passion is? You know, what if I'm not sure what that is? And I say it's okay to play and it's okay to discover. And that's a really good book to get you started. Number 3 is, I always say it's in the doing and not the knowing that things happen. So one of my favorite expressions is done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Hi, Hillary. Hi, Elena. Thank you for joining. We're talking about the 7 steps to turning any idea into reality, and we are on step number 3. It's in the doing and not the knowing. Knowledge is completely useless without action. Completely useless. And there's so many people out there that fail to launch their dream because they want everything to be perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching, it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And thank you for the applause. That's so cute, that little feature there. If you want to hit the applause, you just, there's a little, anyways. Thank you. Thank you, Hillary. Hi there. My favorite expression, done is better than perfect. There are so many people that read countless books and they plot and they strategize and they think of every possible scenario of how something is going to be because they don't want it to go wrong. And then at the end of the day, they never end up doing anything. The only way that you're going to be able to know if something is working is by taking action. Taking action even when you are not ready. This is the key to success. I always say you won't know until you try. And in marketing, we call this launch and optimize, right? You can't make something better if you are not actively doing it. So every time I launch something, some things go well and then some things don't go well. But I take the stuff that goes well and then I tweak, and then I do more of the same. But I wouldn't have known any of that if I hadn't taken action, right? So it's like an athlete. How can she improve her game if all she does is sit in the stands and not actually go down on the field to practice? You just can't. So I always say it's in the doing and not the knowing where the results happen. End of story, right? The number 1 fear that keeps everyone from realizing their dream, in my opinion, is not knowing how something is going to materialize. Not knowing how. This is what stops a lot of people, because I'll ask women all the time, well, what is your dream? And they'll say, well, Maria, my dream is to have a retreat in, Sedona or in Palm Springs, or my dream is to launch a magazine, or my dream is to, have a network, or whatever the dream is. And I always say, well, what's stopping you? And they just say, well, I don't know how. I don't know how. And I'll tell you something, you're not going to know the how, because when your dream is so big, you can't possibly know how you're going to get there. And let me be really clear about this. I don't mean that you're just going to sit around, think of a dream, and then, open your eyes and it's going to magically happen, right? Obviously not. You're going to be taking small steps to get to that goal every day. But you are not able to see the whole path. You are not able to see the whole road. There's a really great book called, I think it's called Be the Miracle by Regina Brett. Be the Miracle by Regina Brett. She's an incredible author, and she talks about being on a foggy highway and not being able to see the end of the road. But that's okay, as long as you can see the 5 feet in front of you. That's all you need to see. And then you just keep going, and it's the next 5 feet and the next 5 feet and the next 5 feet, and you will reach your destination, right? Step number 4, welcome mistakes. I know there's a lot of you out there that don't want to make any mistakes, so they don't end up doing anything, right? But I'm telling you, mistakes, I don't call them mistakes. I call them learning outcomes. Isn't that a nicer way of thinking of a mistake? A learning outcome. Every time I make a mistake, I learn something from it. So it is your chance to learn and do better next time. But again, we can't be making and learning unless we're actually doing, right? So mistakes are essential. Do not be afraid of them. You should actually welcome them. Step number 5, every successful person will and should fail at least once. Heck, I say the more times you fail, the better. And you're probably thinking, that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's true. There is absolutely no success without failure. And I know it sounds cliche, and you're thinking, okay, well, what does that really mean? Not one successful person has avoided failure. Not one. They have tried many businesses. They have failed. They have been bankrupt. Not one successful person has avoided failure. And the reason being is we always learn from our mistakes. Failure teaches us so much. So embrace it as a learning experience to do better or differently next time. And I love failing. I really do. And that's how I look at it, because it has allowed me to get to where I am today. Number 6, go big or go home. This is one of my favorite mindset tools, to really dream big. And so many people are afraid of dreaming big. Don't be afraid to aim high. There are really no limits or ceilings to what you can accomplish other than what everyone else is telling you that, you can or cannot do. You can do anything, and anything is possible. My favorite expression, and one that we use often with the network, is don't let small minds convince you that your dream is too big. Don't let small minds convince you that your dream is too big. Many people have limiting beliefs, and limiting beliefs are essentially what holds everyone back from achieving their dream. And it's a limiting belief, and this is how you know. If I ask someone, why aren't you living your dream? There's always 2 words that come into their response in the sentence. And it's always but and because. So for example, if someone were to ask me, if my dream is to, launch a ladies who lunch wine, which I want to, by the way. So here's a good example. And someone says to me, well, Maria, how come you haven't done that yet? And I'll say, well, because I don't have the money, because I don't know any wine producers, because I don't have the time, because I don't know how to market wine. Those are all limiting beliefs that I have about my ability to do something. Here's a really cool trick that I learned. Replace the but with and. And I'll give you an example. My sister Joanna, when she was trying to get a job, and she didn't have the skills. So she would say, I'd love to work in this new real estate field, but I don't have the skills. So I said, okay, take out that but and replace it with and. Now say the sentence again. So she'd say, okay, I want to work in this new real estate field and I don't have the skills. So see how that changes the sentence. Okay, so you don't have the skills. So what do you have to do in order to attain the skills? So she went around to different projects. She did some research. She talked to developers. And in the end, she gained the skills. And by the way, she got the job. So replace the but with the and. All right, ladies, what else? Don't subscribe to limiting beliefs. So like I say, go big or go home. Just like in our fancy events, if you look at the Ladies Who Lunch Network, lwlnetwork.com, our signature event is our big fancy hat event. And I always say, Ladies Who Lunch, where our dreams are as big as our hats. So kick your limiting beliefs to the curb. You can achieve anything. Your imagination is your only limitation. Number 7, and most importantly, to achieve anything that you want, it is very important to surround yourself with, I like to call them the believers, the doers, the action takers, the risk takers, and particularly people that see the greatness in you, even when you don't see it yourself. You need to be around these people. If you are associating yourself with negative people, you must get away from them as quickly as possible so that you can make space for positive people to come into your life. And I understand sometimes this is hard because oftentimes these people are our family, but try to limit your time as much as possible with them. And here's a trick I like to play with negative people. Negative people obviously usually complain, and they use the word don't a lot. So they'll say things like, well, I don't have money, and I don't have this, and I don't like this, and etc. So I just say, okay, can I ask you a question? What do you want? What do you want? And every time I ask that, it really stumps them, because oftentimes they haven't even asked themselves this question. You know, they're so busy complaining about and being negative that they're not actually telling the universe what they want. So it makes them think, and it stops them from complaining a bit. But most importantly, surround yourself with positive people. And also, I would say people that have attained the level of success that you want to get to. This is very, very important. One of my favorite expressions is, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Think about this. Think about who's in your life on a daily basis. You're the average of those 5 people. You are the average of their thoughts, what they say, what they do, what they think, where they are in their careers, everything. So the first time I heard this, it really kind of freaked me out. And from that point on, I made sure that the women and that the people in my life that I surrounded myself with were pretty amazing. So think about life as a game of tennis. I love this analogy. You're never going to get anywhere with playing with someone that's kind of on the same level as you. Like, it might be really comfortable, right? Because you're both at the same level, but it's not going to advance you at all. So I always say, try to play with someone that has a little more skill than you, right? So find a mentor, get into a mastermind, join a network, associate yourself with people that have done the things that you want to accomplish. So this is one of the reasons that I started the Ladies Who Lunch Network, to surround myself with like-minded women. We empower each other, we support each other, and most importantly, we provide inspiration to one another. And I always say that when women come together collectively, we can do some amazing things. So whoever is watching and who is not part of the network, and you want to find more about Ladies Who Lunch, we're really all about living our dream. You can visit lwlnetwork.com. And if you'd like to join the network, you can visit www.invitefrommaria.com. That's me. Membership is at only $97 a year for now. We have a private Facebook group. We have an online directory. We have an area for member spotlights. And we have She's in Biz training videos for our members. We also have weekly Monday Morning with Maria audios such as this. So this has been really cool. I encourage all of you, if you want to share information, try one of these BLAB sessions. It is really cool. This is becoming a very, very cool social media platform, and it's easy to do. If you need any help, just reach out to me. My email is maria@ladieswholunchnetwork.com. I also do consulting. I only have room for, I only work with 5 or 6 women at a time because my time is very limited. Besides being a mommy, I'm the founder of the network, but I'm also a real estate agent. So ladies, if you have any questions, you can jump on the phone with me. I offer 15-minute consultations free. It's www.talktomaria.com. And again, you can visit invitefrommaria.com and lwlnetwork.com. Please, ladies, if you have any questions about how to turn any idea you have into reality, or the law of attraction, or any business question, feel free to type it in the chat. I'm not sure how to do that, but I see some of you have typed things. So thank you for joining us. Louise, Elena, Hillary, Jennifer, Terry, I see some of our LWL members, which is awesome. So this is my first blab. I think it went well, and I would love to try more. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Hillary. I think that's it. Do you have any questions, ladies? No? Okay. It was a pleasure hanging out with you today and blabbing. Talk to you later. Bye now.